Okay, so if you've ever been to Nairobi, you know the matatu. It's the absolute lifeblood of the city's transport system. It's chaotic, it's got this incredible energy, and it's totally essential. But here's the catch. It runs almost entirely on physical cash, and that creates a whole world of problems. Today, we're diving into a really ambitious project that's designed to change all of that.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get into the weeds of the cash problem out on the streets. Then, we'll look at the digital solution they've built to fix it. We'll see exactly how it works, dig into the business model behind it, and then we'll zoom out and look at the big picture for Africa's transport future.
All right, let's set the scene. The matatu industry is just this massive economic engine, moving millions of people every single day. But, it's pretty much all cash. And every single transaction means someone's fumbling for change, which slows everything down. It creates this huge bottleneck that causes delays and just friction for everybody involved.
So, who's stepping up to tackle this? It's a company called Young Eagles of Transformation, or YET Kenya. And these guys aren't just app developers. Their whole mission is to build these foundational digital platforms that solve really critical challenges across Africa. They look at a complex system like this and ask, all right, how can we build the digital infrastructure to make this thing work better?
And these are the real day-to-day headaches. We're not just talking about digging for coins here. The lack of transparency leads to constant arguments between the conductors and the vehicle owners about how much was actually made that day. Revenue leakage, from theft or just underreporting is a massive, massive problem. And think about it. In a country that is a world leader in mobile money, its biggest transport sector is stuck in the past, with absolutely no data to help optimize routes or services.
So, now that we've laid out the problem, let's move from the chaos of cash to the solution they're proposing. And I want to be clear, this isn't just another payment app. This is about completely rethinking the financial backbone of the entire system.
And here it is, Timiza Fare. Now the key word you really need to focus on here is infrastructure. Think of it as a single digital platform that connects everybody, the passengers, the conductors, the vehicle owners, even the mechanics and insurance guys. It's designed to be the central nervous system for the whole industry, finally solving that transparency and data black hole.
So who actually wins here? Well, pretty much everyone. For you, the passenger, it's simple. No cash means faster boarding and safer payments. For the conductors, it's a game changer. No more carrying around huge wads of cash, which is a big security risk. And for the owners and the transport co-ops, which are called SACCOs, it means they can finally see their revenue in real time. The guesswork is gone.
That all sounds great in theory, right? But how does it actually work on a packed matatu during rush hour? Well, the whole system is built around a process that's already super simple, fast, and really familiar to almost everyone in Kenya.
It's basically a four-step dance that takes just a few seconds. The conductor types in the fare and your phone number. You get an instant prompt on your phone, and this is so important. It works on basic feature phones, not just smartphones. You just pop in your mobile money PIN to say, yep, that's me, and boom, done. Both you and the conductor get an instant digital receipt. It's fast, it's secure, and it's totally verifiable.
I mean, the contrast here is just night and day. On one side, you've got the old way, the delays, the arguments, the do you have change dance, and no record of the transaction. And on the other side, you've got the Timiza way, instant, efficient, and completely transparent. It just transforms the whole vibe from one of constant friction to one that just flows.
Okay, so the system clearly solves a real problem, but how does it actually make money and become a viable business? Well, to get this off the ground, Timiza is looking for $200,000 in seed funding for their pilot launch. So let's break down how they plan to use that money and how this whole thing is designed to scale up. The core of the business model is super straightforward. They take a tiny slice of a massive pie. We're talking about a fee of around 1% on each ride. But to get to that massive volume, they need to build. And that's exactly what that $200,000 seed round is for. A solid $60,000 of that is going straight into tech development to perfect the platform. $20,000 is for the cloud infrastructure to keep it running smoothly, and another $50,000 will go to operations and staffing to actually manage the pilot.
But it doesn't just stop at transaction fees. A big chunk of that seed money, $40,000 for marketing and user acquisition, $15,000 for customer support systems, and another $15,000 for legal and compliance, is all about getting those initial users on board. Because once you have that user base, you unlock all these other revenue streams. You can earn commissions from services like insurance or fuel, you can do in-app advertising, and down the road, you could even get into data analytics. It all starts with that initial investment.
And this, right here, is the strategic genius of the model. This is why that seed funding is so powerful. Timiza is what you call asset light. They don't own a single matatu. Their growth is all about transaction volume, which means that initial investment in technology and getting users can scale across the entire continent without having to buy a bunch of expensive physical stuff.
So, that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, which is the long-term vision. Because this project isn't just about fixing payments in Nairobi. It's about setting a whole new standard for how cities across Africa move.
This vision statement from Yet Kenya really says it all, doesn't it? They're not just building an app, they're aiming to literally transform entire systems. They see tech as a tool for making things more efficient, for bringing more people into the formal financial system, and for driving real, sustainable growth. It's a powerful mission that takes this from just a cool idea to something truly transformative. So we're left with this one big question. By creating this unified, cashless, data-driven backbone for one of the most chaotic but essential sectors, is Timiza Fare creating the actual blueprint for how cities all across Africa are going to move in the future? It is a really compelling vision of a more efficient, a more transparent, and a more connected continent.